Breaking news. We come to you guys from the land of hope and glory in Kent, England. Unfortunately, we have now heard that Tommy Robinson has been arrested by the police following yesterday's pro-patriotic march. Unfortunately, they've actually arrested him using the Terrorism Act of 2000. So using the anti-terrorism powers, the counter-terrorism police use that to take him away. And of course, that means that they are able to hold him for about 14 days. If they had arrested him using the normal police powers, they would only be able to hold him for about 24 hours. So they want to make sure that they could hold him in as long as possible. As you guys know, from Monday onwards, he's supposed to be going to court to address the issue of the film, the documentary that you guys might have seen at the rally that was obviously screened. This is the controversial documentary Silence there was an injunction on it. It was basically banned in this country, and it was made years ago. Of course, a while ago in the United States, somebody released the film in the US. And over the last few weeks, couple of months, there have been this, basically the state, the establishment tried to basically make a move against Tommy, to use powers to bring him to court to basically say you have broken the conditions, even though the film was actually released by somebody else in America. So yesterday, Tommy Robinson decided to say, well, if the film is already released, let's just show it to the world. And if they're going to take me away, then they can do it. The message is already out there. If they come for the messenger, it no longer works. Back in the day, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when they were coming for someone like Tommy Robinson, as in the messenger, that was working because you just bring down the messenger and you can suppress the message. Nowadays, because of the rise of new media and social media becoming freer, when it comes to, for example, X, thanks to Elon Musk, Tommy actually has more support than ever. But it's not really just about support. It's the fact that his voice, the message that he sends out, rightly or wrongly, you could support him, you could not support him, that's irrelevant. The message gets out there. So if you bring down the messenger, as in Tommy Robinson himself, you can't really stop the message anymore. Back in the day, you could. So we're facing this problem now. Obviously, as I said, they've taken him away using the Terrorism Act, following yesterday's rally. And I was just, I'm obviously in touch with the rest of the team. We're in a group chat to find out more information and about his well-being and where he is, what he's doing, because there's a lot of information that's not been released yet, which we'll find out soon. And obviously Tousi TV will bring guys all the updates. There's another thing I want to mention to you guys while we're here, is that actually it's currently 2:38 p.m. UK time. In about an hour and a half, 4 p.m, for those of you who are in London or are around London, if you could get yourself to Downing Street at 4 p.m, Paul Thorpe, obviously another political YouTuber who was also at the rally yesterday, made a speech just before me. He's going to be outside Downing Street on Whitehall in Westminster. And if anybody could go and show support, unfortunately, I'm not in London today, I'm in Kent. But for those who can actually go there, show support and of course send a message to the establishment. And there's I believe on social media, on X, there's already a hashtag free Tommy, and also on his website Urban Scoop, that you guys already know. If you go on Urban Scoop, you can also see the petition. There's a petition to support Tommy, and that's already got tens of thousands. I think a lot of people have already signed up. But if you could also, if you want to support Tommy Robinson, you could also go on the website Urban Scoop and show support. Also, if you just go on Tommy Robinson's account on X, or formerly known as Twitter, the information is also on there in terms of the petition, in terms of the actual documentary as well. Because again, we are thinking this is about the documentary. This is about the film that was banned in this country. It was released in America anyway. They were going to come for him despite the fact that the film was released in America a while ago by somebody else. They were going to take him to court tomorrow, which is technically against what the injunction was. The injunction was on that film because they said that this film is going to be controversial and all that, they said you can't show it in the UK. That was the point, in the UK. It was released by somebody else in the US, and they were going to come for him anyway. So tomorrow was always going to happen. 29th of July, we've known this for the past few weeks. We've known this was going to happen. That's why, as I said, the decision by the team around Tommy and Tommy himself was yesterday. Said, well, if they're going to take me to court, regardless of the fact that actually the injunction wasn't broken by him in the UK, he said, well, in that case, let people see the truth. Let people see the film. Let them see the documentary. And when he did a screening at the rally yesterday, the film itself, obviously in the middle of the speeches. We made some of the speeches first, Carl Benjamin, Lawrence Fox, and then we did the film. Then after the film, I came, Paul Thorpe and many others. That was about an hour and 45 minutes. And that, during the rally and online, that video itself, that film got millions of views. Literally, if you had broadcast something like that on the BBC, it would not get as many views. This is the power of not just social media, but the new media platforms. Because X, or Twitter, under Elon Musk, is no longer just a social media platform. It's also becoming a new media outlet, like YouTube, for example. So we are able to use YouTube, we're able to use X, and Rumble. Obviously, Rumble doesn't have as much reach, but it's good. It's still an alternative. But X itself, they're also planning to modernize the actual media platform for X. Elon Musk is doing that, so you could actually, in the future, you don't have to just rely on YouTube. YouTube has a lot of problems, of course, but YouTube still has the biggest reach when it comes to videos and films and all that. But yesterday, that film, millions of views. And obviously, thousands of people in central London also saw that. Paul Thorpe in the live chat says, on the way to Downing Street from Brighton. Yes, as we said earlier, if you are in London or around London, if you could get yourself to Downing Street, 4 p.m., so in about an hour and 20 minutes from now, Paul Thorpe is going to be out there to also, if you're going to be there, to show support to Paul and obviously Tommy. And there's, I believe, as I said, a hashtag on social media, hashtag free Tommy. And as I said, go on Tommy's X account or just go on Urban Scoop website. You can find the link to the petition and everything else. But as I said, the main problem we're currently facing is the fact that all this is happening because of the film, the documentary that was basically banned and censored by this country. It was released in the US. The problems that now we're kind of facing is what's going to happen next, because obviously Tommy's life is important as well, and his family and his freedom, but it's gone beyond him now. So it's no longer just about the messenger. It's important for us to also support him because he's a human and he's a friend and he's fighting, but the message is getting out there anyway. They can't suppress the message. It's too late now. It's no longer the days of 2010 or 2014, where, as I said earlier, if you bring down the messenger, the message will disappear. It's not going to happen anymore. So it is also interesting how Hope Not Hate, the far left organization, for those if you're watching from abroad, Hope Not Hate is basically like an Antifa organization, and they have a lot of support from certain people in the establishment. They get a lot of big money. These are the type of organizations, if not necessarily them directly, these are the type of organizations that gets a lot of support from the likes of George Soros, Open Society and others. They do have a lot of funding behind them. They also have a lot of support. They also have a lot of inside information, because the first time we heard, a few weeks ago, about what's going to happen tomorrow, 29th of July, with the court case thing, that basically Tommy's supposed to go to face the challenge. We actually didn't hear it from the establishment. Tommy himself didn't hear it from the establishment themselves, the police or the court or judge or whatever, or the government. It was actually Hope Not Hate that announced it on social media. So they knew beforehand that it was going to happen anyway. So we are facing the people who are directly linked and supported by the establishment. Again, they have their own worldview. They have a very different sort of set of values to more patriotic and nationalist people like Tommy Robinson. They think they are the angels. They think they are the saviors. And they think Tommy Robinson is the villain. They think Tommy Robinson is the devil. And it's our job, all of us, because it's not really just about Tommy. He's a symbol of a lot of people who want the rest of these idiots out there and the establishment to know We are not the bad guys. We are not the villains. In fact, I can show you the bad guys. I can show you when it comes to the actual far left and actual far right, there are bad people and any sort of extremists. Yeah, of course, Islamicide and everything else as well. We can show you the real bad guys, especially in other countries. Not in the United Kingdom. In the UK, there's like 6 or 7 of them who are just crazy. I can show you the real problem. But of course, right now, there's no appetite in the establishment to know the truth. Considering that even Reform UK and Nigel Farage, who are doing a good job inside the house, Nigel Farage is still very much afraid of even being associated with somebody like Tommy Robinson. GB News, that claims to be the home of free speech, have banned Tommy Robinson. Talk TV, same thing. They say they're the voice of common sense or whatever nonsense they say. They've censored us. A lot of the people you saw on the stage, they're not allowed to go on GB News or Talk TV. So the problem we have is not really just the BBC News, Sky News, Channel 4. The system is playing you. They're giving you all these new channels saying, look, you now have a new counterculture channel, GB News, Talk TV, blah, blah, blah. They're not. They're all being controlled. And it's not just because of Ofcom, advertisers, corporate money, and everything else around it. If they want to be able to get Keir Starmer, Rishi Sunak, and these guys to go on their channels, they're not allowed to have people like Tommy Robinson. As I said, 4 p.m, if you could be outside Downing Street, Paul Thorpe is going to be there. I believe he's going to go live from there as well to show support and check out social media. We're going to, of course, come back with more information as we get it over the next few hours. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tousi.